Mirror, Mirror on the Wall by Chocovich. Chapter 3 Aftermath with 1,105 words. Your Majesty, we have found her, Shining Armor said with a hint of sadness in his voice as his men brought Pinky into the throne room behind him. The guards dropped her on the ground quickly, making every pony in the room grimace as she hit the ground. Shining Armor quickly moved to reprimand the guards, but Pinky stopped him. It's okay. I probably deserved it, Pinky said weakly, the hit having knocked the breath out of her. He smiled weakly as he walked out of the throne room after his men. It was his job to tell the dead guard's family the news. Pinky smiled as he left the room, shakily getting to her feet so she could face Celestia. When she looked up, she saw a soft smile on Celestia's face. You're the real Pinkie Pie, aren't you? Celestia asked sweetly, making every pony look at her in surprise. Rainbow was the most surprised, but when she took a good look at Pinky, she could see why Celestia had asked. Unlike the Pinky that had attacked her, this Pinky looked scared, weak, and sad. I hope I am, Pinky said sadly, looking over to Rainbow Dash. I heard the fight. I'm really sorry for what happened. Every pony in the room looked at Pinky with pity, especially Celestia. The sudden change in behavior, even the difference in her appearance, told Celestia that this Pinky wasn't the same one that had attacked Rainbow or the guard. Well, that settles it, Celestia said firmly, her serious face making a return. 1 month dungeon. 1 month? Pinky asked, looking at Celestia in confusion. I killed a guard and attacked Rainbow. Shouldn't my sentence be worse? Well, it would be, if it had actually been you that did those things, Celestia said, her horn flaring with magic as she summoned a scroll from deep in the castle. 1 month is the minimum for trespassing. Every pony looked at Celestia as the scroll appeared, quickly being opened and read by the princess. After a few minutes of silence, Celestia wrapped up the scroll and sent it back to wherever it came from. As I have suspected, the mirror brought out another version of you that was previously locked deep within you, Celestia said firmly, looking Pinky straight in the eyes. Celestia quickly scanned the expression of every pony in the room. Only one of them, Twi to be exact, seemed to understand what she meant. So, this mirror is cursed by powerful magic? Twilight asked slowly, not wanting to be incorrect in what she was trying to say. Celestia smiled happily at her student, because she had guessed correctly. Yes, this mirror is an ancient weapon, used to turn your enemies to your cause, Celestia said while looking at Pinky. It usually affects those who are the most happy. Can she still be affected now? Fluttershy asked, looking at Rainbow's hoof and ear. Celestia nodded slowly, looking at the 2 guards that had stayed behind to take Pinky away after her sentencing. Now that she had been sentenced and every pony knew what had happened, it was time for her to be serving her time. It's been a week since Pinky had been tossed into the dungeon. Her friends, except for Rainbow, had all come to visit, even giving her toys and desserts to cheer her up, but she was still depressed. She had hurt Rainbow and killed a guard. How could any pony expect her to walk away from that? Not to mention she raped the guard before killing him. What if she got pregnant? Hello? Pinky asked quietly, knowing it was either a guard coming to spit on her or it was time to feed her. She watched carefully as the door opened, a light blue hoof pushing it open. Hey there, Pinky, Rainbow said sadly as she took a seat next to Pinky on the bed. Rainbow wiggled around for a bit, trying to get comfortable, eventually giving up after it only got worse. How do you sleep on this thing? Rainbow asked, her flanks starting to hurt from the hard mattress. I don't, Pinky said sadly, looking at a spot on the floor. Why are you here? Well, you're my friend, so, Rainbow said sarcastically. But when she saw that Pinky didn't take notice, she sat back down, putting a hoof on Pinky's back. She rubbed Pinky's back slowly, but soon after, Pinky began to cry. Rainbow jumped in front of her to see what was wrong, but Pinky pushed her away. I don't understand why you came to see me. I hurt you, Pinky said quietly, her sobbing making it almost incomprehensible. Rainbow looked at her worriedly before giving her a hug, making Pinky cry even more, and then she left. She didn't want to see her friend crying like that because of her, but Pinky wasn't crying because of her being there. Pinky was crying because of what she had done to her before. Miss Pie, it's time to wake up, a guard said while banging on Pinky's cell door. When there was no response, he put his ear to the door, hearing what sounded like vomiting. Being one of the few guards that didn't hate Pinky, how convenient, he ran towards the nurse's station, urging on of them to come to her cell. As they got back, the sound had gotten louder, being broken up by the occasional cry from Pinky. She felt as if she was throwing up everything she had eaten for the past week, and her stomach was killing her. "Miss Pye, are you all right?" the guard shouted as he threw open the door. When she saw Pinky crouched over the hole she had for a toilet, she rushed over and picked her up, running her all the way towards the castle hospital, confusing the nurse he had brought back with him. "Where are you taking me?" Pinky asked wearily, not being fully aware of her surroundings. "To the doctor's," the guard said as he turned a sharp corner. For all he knew, one of the other guards could have slipped her poison. He wasn't stupid. He knew how much many members of the guard wanted her dead, many of them being his direct co-workers. But he had heard the story about what had caused this, and he believed it. In his mind, there was no way this kind mare could have done any of the things that they say she did. Just as I got to the hospital, Pinky passed out, but not before whispering one thing to the guard. "Thank you."